Hey, it's Huck. And this is day 2. I came into St. Elizabeth Hospital in Youngstown by ambulance yesterday morning around 7, 8 a.m. And I've had another exacerbation of my COPD, this time brought on by a common cold, which I received probably about a week ago. And at any rate, I was getting, my breathing was getting a little worse. By Wednesday, I went in to see the doctor. I was on some medications at home, but it wasn't enough. And by Friday afternoon, I knew I was getting really bad. And I probably should have called Friday night or come in, early Friday, when I probably could have maybe tried to do it on my own. But I ended up waiting till Saturday morning when I was at my pretty much worst. Not quite as bad as I was the last time I came in. And of course I have the added benefit that, I'm no longer smoking or around smoke. So I'm hoping that I'm going to be out of here. They're telling me another 24 to 48 hours. They did admit me. I'm in a room right now. They took me out of a double room. I had somebody else COPD in my room when I got into my room yesterday afternoon, and but today, or last night, they moved me to a private room simply because they realized I did have a cold after all, and they didn't want me, spreading it. I think I'm almost at the end of that cold's run, though. I think I've had it about a week, so another few days, and it should have, I'm sure by Wednesday or so, it probably will have run its course. At any rate, I'm a little upset because they missed a breathing treatment this morning. They kind of shortchanged me on one last night. Started to give me one, but cut it short, and wasn't real happy about that. And then they missed one this morning, so I've gone about 12 hours. They still haven't given me one, and at this point they're going to give me a. They have to dig and take some blood from an artery. So that they call a blood gas, arterial, and they check to see the carbon dioxide levels of your blood, and if necessary, if they're a little high, if numbers are a little high, they put you on one of these BiPAP machines, which is similar to a CPAP machine. First time I'd ever used one was the last time I was hospitalized about 3 months ago, and put me on that machine 2 or 3 times for a few hours. I don't know if it'll be necessary this time, but it's probably not a bad idea to check. At any rate, I'm better than I was certainly when I came in. I've been able to get up, use my oxygen, get to the bathroom and back, but still weak and still wheezing. And like I say, I think 48 hours is probably a safe bet. I don't think I'll be going home anytime sooner than that. And it might even be a day or so longer than that. We'll have to see. But I know it's imperative that when you have these setbacks that you, just to get back to about where you were, before the setback, it's imperative that you go a good 6 weeks without another setback. And now I did manage to do that this past time, but barely, in a way. And unfortunately, I had this other problem with this cellulitis condition that was flaring up that I think weakened me. And I think, in many ways made me more susceptible to this cold. In fact, I was coming back from this hospital's emergency room more than a week ago because my arm had all swelled up. And and the good news is that it was that emergency visit that gave me the additional antibiotic that ended up clearing that all up, and so by, 4 or 5 days later, it was gone. That would have been Thursday. The bad news is that that trip to the emergency room, wearing a T-shirt as I was, by the time I got out of there that night and I walked back to the parking lot to my car, it was freezing cold, and I my breathing problems really began that evening. And, from, I think, being out in the cold night air without a jacket and And I think that's probably, helped me. I probably picked up that virus, the cold virus, either here at the hospital or, that night. At any rate. The good news is I don't think this is going to be such a severe setback that it's going to, change too much, as far as my trajectory. But that remains to be seen, So we'll just have to see how quickly and how fully, I recover from this. I had been taking pulmonary rehab, twice a week, and I had to cut that back. So I haven't been going for, almost a full 3 weeks now because of my arm, and now I'll be anxious to get back to that as soon as I can, because I'm definitely going to try to, whether I take it there or I take the exercise at home, I'm going to try to build up my strength again and my endurance, and I think I can. So at any rate, I wanted to update you. I did manage to watch the Browns' wonderful win yesterday. I got to my room just as the game was starting, and Baker Mayfield seems to be the answer for the Browns. There's a good chance the Browns are going to have maybe, just maybe, both the offensive and defensive rookie of the year this year with Baker Mayfield, what he's been able to, the energy and the production he's been able to bring to their offense. And this Denzel Washington, what he's been able to do defensively, with some really big plays. And again, yesterday, with another pick and a block kick and some really great defensive coverage. So, I'm encouraged. The Browns are 2-1. They're actually in the thick of things. They've got one tie and one win now in their division. And I'm not going to be, planning on buying any playoff tickets this year, but I would definitely say they are, heading in the right direction. And I think they did pick the right quarterback for the first time in 20 years. They might have done something right. So that gives me encouragement as well. Anyway, so I will add one more little video to this as I get discharged here, whenever that is. And then I promise to post all this. So thank you for watching. And, give me your thoughts here. It can't hurt. And I'll talk to you again real soon.